Welcome. Today we're going to be speaking about Dundee University, the Hospital 9 Wells, and my experiences here as a transfer student. I transferred to Dundee from IMU, which stands for International Medical University. IMU was in Malaysia and Kuala Lumpur. I did half my medical degree there and I transferred to Dundee in my third year of medicine. So after I came to Dundee, I think the thing that made it easiest for me to settle down here were my seniors, because they were so warm and so supportive. They made groups online and they had calls for us. So they discussed things about dress code, exams, accommodation, living, shopping, everything. So they basically took us in like a little family and really helped make the process easier for us. The second thing that really helped was our transfer student teacher, who reached out to all of us, and we also transferred during COVID, so she offered her help and support, and she's the direct contact point for transfer students if they have any issues. The other thing that really helped was a week of orientation. So they had a week of sessions just for transfer students where they took us around the university, they showed us everything they had. They had communication skill sessions so that we could learn to speak in a more local lingo, and they just helped us to integrate better. Now, talking about friends, I think a big question that I had was if I'd be able to make friends with the students over here, because I assumed that since I was moving into third year directly, everyone would have their friend groups and be quite comfortable already. We also moved in during COVID, so a lot of things were just online and people didn't speak that much there. So I was worried. But I think when I came to Dundee, things were a lot better in person. I found that when I joined societies and went for the events, it was much easier to make friends, and everyone was very supportive and warm, and everyone's very welcoming. So that was way easier than I imagined. Now, speaking about exams, I think the way Dundee students are tested is very different from how you were tested in IMU. I think the biggest difference is that Dundee students prepare using question banks. When I say question banks, I mean things like PassMed, PassTest, QuizMed. In IMU, we studied more from textbooks and lecture notes, and I feel that the questions there were more about retention and more about answering pathophysiology, whereas here the questions are a lot more about clinical practice and there are no direct pathophysiology questions as such. So it's very, very clinical. In terms of communication differences, I think there are quite a few. So for example, in Malaysia, we were taught to say sir or ma'am whenever we spoke to anybody and did history taking. I think here you just refer to people with their first name and you don't add anything else over there. And I think there are certain words that are just used differently in this part of the world and they mean different things. So I think I always get confused with these things. Tights and leggings are different here than tights and leggings back in Asia, and I think they're used the opposite way. And it's the same for, I think, being sick. So when people say they're sick in Scotland, they mean that they've puked. Whereas if you say you're sick in Malaysia, you mean that you've got a fever, you've been ill in some other way. So I think these are things that can initially throw you off, but you get used to them with time. My final topic is my experience as an international student. I've said this in another video, but I'll say it again. I don't really feel like an international student because everyone has been so welcoming towards me. But I know I am, but I just don't feel it by the way other people treat me. I feel like I'm one of them. So that's been really great. A society that has really made life better for me is Dundee Social Club or Social Society. And through that society, I found a lot of good friends. and very fun people. And I want to talk about my favorite event that they've had, which was a ceilidh, where we all dressed up and danced in circles and ate food and had a really good time. So that brings me to the end of my video, and I hope you enjoyed it and found it useful. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, and I will see you next time.